When you hear the words, today is the best day of your life, what's the first thing you think? Do you deny it and go, no, it isn't? Or, yeah, right? Do you ignore it and go, yeah, whatever, you crazy person? Do you assume the words are intended for someone else? Do you wonder, why? Why is this the best day of my life? Why is it? How receptive are you to the idea of your own good luck? If you feel like you are having a string of bad luck, what is it that you attribute that idea to? The idea that you are having a string of bad luck. Is it because someone treated you badly? Because something you hoped would happen didn't happen? What? The mind is an interesting thing. What you mind is an interesting thing. If you are someone who has lived life long enough to notice its absurdities, you have probably experienced that moment in which you realize that the thing you once considered the worst thing to ever happen to you was actually a really good thing, a dodged bullet, a blessing in disguise. Yesterday, I was running errands in town and I was told that I would have to wait 20 minutes for something that I usually don't have to wait for. I didn't mind though. I just went to a nearby park and sat in the shade enjoying the breeze. There were two ladies sitting there on the bench beside mine under the same pagoda, garden folly, whatever you call it. It was a lovely shaded area and they were gossiping rather loudly and at times quite viciously about the people who had wronged them and how the banks are evil and about their nieces or daughters-in-law, not sure which, who were apparently on maternity leave and blah, blah, blah. And as I was sitting there, I was genuinely amused, not because of anything they were saying, but because I realized something. I thought, I can remember a time in the past where being told to come back in 20 minutes for something I usually receive immediately would have really annoyed me. And the strangers gossiping loudly definitely would have aggravated me as well. I would have felt frustrated and annoyed instead of enjoying the wait as a sort of break time, and I would have let it bug me for hours and hours afterwards. I can remember days like that I've had in the past, needlessly triggered by minor things. And when I really think about it, it wasn't even because of things like being told to wait or because of anything anyone said or did. Not really. It was because I just didn't like my life in general. I was unhappy and I was looking for reasons to direct my feelings of discontent. I was looking for things to blame. The thing is, creating a life you love and enjoying the one you already have are kind of the same thing. The more you hate the life you currently live, the further you push away the reality you prefer. This isn't to say you never stand up for yourself, that you let people walk all over you or anything like that. That's like a completely other point for the avoidance of doubt. I've said this in many of my videos. I've come at it from different angles. Repetition is good, and I don't think I've said it quite like this before, so here it is. There is only one good reason to enjoy yourself now and to love the life you already have. And it isn't because your life is about to get a whole lot better, although it is. The one good reason to relax and enjoy yourself now and to be happy about the life you currently have is because it's yours. I mean, think about it. Someone you admire, whose life you aspire to emulate, may have a fabulous life, however you define it. Lots of money, a gorgeous spouse, a successful career, and so on. But what good does that do you, other than to be a subject of inspiration? If the fact that someone else has something you want makes you feel inferior and inadequate rather than encouraged and inspired, then that person is not a positive influence for you. I don't mean that that person is bad. I mean that the nature of your attention upon him or her is not doing you much good. Some people like to use their insecurities as motivation. I hate feeling this way, so I am going to work really, really hard to prove myself worthy, and so on. That is one approach, and another is to just appreciate and admire the examples set by those before you, and to have the time of your life creating a reality for yourself that you love day by day, one moment at a time. The thing about making it your goal to shore up your quote-unquote weaknesses is that it trains you to continue noticing your weaknesses. And whatever you pay attention to grows more. That's just the way it is in this universe of infinite abundance. Eventually, the effort to eliminate your imperfections exhausts you. You get tired of being critical of yourself, which isn't a bad thing, because then you're left with no choice but to accept yourself, to love and approve of yourself exactly as you are, even, no matter what anyone says or thinks, and to appreciate all of your past try-hard wannabe people-pleaser behavior as well, with an air of amusement rather than regret, if that makes sense. You don't feel guilty for enjoying your life either. You like your life and you like enjoying yourself. So instead of noticing everything that is wrong with you and your life, count your blessings. Very trite, I know, and also very true. Being happy isn't about being loved or getting paid. Being happy is about being happy. And funnily enough, when you are happy, you receive love and you get paid and you genuinely appreciate it. And when you see or hear the words, "This is the best day of your life," you believe it. Not only do you believe it, you know it to be true.